Hi, we are going to create a revenue foreign currency module using the Modano Excel add-in. Select the Modano menu item, click on New and choose Empty Module. This should bring you to the overview sheet. Let's enter our company details here. Now go to the Build menu item and pick the Project Manager icon on the far left-hand side. A new window Modano Project Manager will appear visually presenting the new module and its properties. Click on this blue module icon and choose the Properties horizontal tab. Under Properties, click Edit. Fill in these details as we are doing here. For the sake of time, we will only input data in the following key descriptors. However, it doesn't hurt to input as much detail for the other properties if possible. We have now updated the properties. Click on the Composition tab. We must now add a module area to house our revenue module. Select the download option on the right-hand side because we want to ensure we are using the latest module areas library. Pick Financial Modeling and in the previous window, click the Revenue and Expenses module area. Click and hold down the new module, Revenue Foreign Currency, and move it across and underneath the Revenue and Expenses module area. Then delete the module's module area because it is now redundant. We are now ready to close out the Project Manager window. Next, we must insert a time series module into the new revenue module. Under the Modano menu item, select Insert and choose Time Series Module. Modano is super flexible and allows you to choose from a range of time series, both historical forecast and forecast. For this exercise, we will select Time Series Annual because we want a simple forecast revenue module. In the time series assumption sheet, I'll make 2021 the first financial year. Returning to the revenue module, it is time to insert associated module components. First, insert a time series assumption sheet, which will contain an annual time series. Name the assumption sheet and then go to Build, Components, and add below a module component. We can see our revenue assumptions component is clearly designated. Repeat these steps by right-clicking on the worksheets, selecting Insert Sheet and then Time Series Outputs. Again, rename the output sheet and add a module component by selecting Build, Components, and add below. The revenue module now contains the outputs component too. Let's go to Build and select Project Manager to verify our new revenue module contains the assumptions and outputs components, which it clearly does in the composition window. Go to Insert, Hyperlink, Intercomponent Hyperlink, which allows us to toggle to the outputs component of the revenue module and back again. Returning to the assumption sheet, we are now ready to build the revenue module. Go to Build, pick Category Block and insert Category Block. For starters, our revenue block will contain 3 categories. However, the power of Modano means we can adjust this number later on and it will update throughout the entire financial model. Before we format our revenue block, we must first insert our currency and forecast FX rate details. We want to format our exchange rate numbers to 4 decimal places. Let's place a title header for our foreign currency revenue in row 15. Another time series feature with blocks is if we select these cells in row 16 and move across this cell format, it will repeat this formatting in the other cells of the block in rows 17 and 18. Remember to format these assumption cells with a heading format. Don't forget to insert the foreign currency details and projected exchange rates above the revenue block. In this example, the foreign currency will be Australian dollars or AUD. Another time saver with Modano is the ability to fill across the page, which we can do with our pro forma revenue numbers in rows 16, 17 and 18. Now we are ready to build out the revenue numbers on the output sheet. Go to Build, select Category Blocks and click Insert Category Block or right-click on your cursor. Given we have already created the revenue block, remember to select it under Existing. We will format these numbers cells as outputs and we can press Ctrl right arrow to fill across our revenue cell block. Before we enter the formula to convert our projected foreign currency revenue, we want to reference the data from the assumption sheet. First, we will reference the currency data. As highlighted, when we format a cell block like this in row 19, all cells will update in a uniform fashion to reference these FX values in row 13 of the assumption sheet. Next, we will pull in the Australian dollar revenue from the assumption sheet and again use the existing revenue category block. Once more, we will format the output number cell option. We have all the source information from the assumption sheet. To compute the revenue numbers, we need to reference the Australian dollar revenue, the FX rate, and the overall model's denomination conversion factor. As we can see, we have our projected translated revenue numbers. Let's now add an error check to the revenue module. This check will flag if the total revenue numbers in row 16 contain errors. By inserting the Add Error Check feature in Modano, our new error check will be embedded into the revenue module. If we adjust the formula by dividing it by 0 like so, we see the module flags the error and in the title of the worksheet. Secondly, we will place an alert check to flag for negative revenue amounts. Like the Add Error Check, the Add Alert Check will also be factored into the spreadsheet. If we make our revenue number negative, the alert flags in our module. Now we want to link out the translated revenue numbers using module links, so that our revenue module will seamlessly link out and into other modules such as the income statement, accounts receivable, etc. Click Download and choose Financial Modeling. which will ensure we use the most up-to-date revenue module link. Click Add on the revenue module like so. As we can see, we want to pick up columns B and J to N of our revenue module. Remember to save your new revenue module. To further demonstrate the module links and the unique value of Modano, we will insert an income statement. We will now save the workbook as a modular workbook because we have multiple modules. As we can see, we now contain an income statement with populated revenue numbers. Let's check to see whether our revenue module links out correctly the translated revenue numbers for product A, B and C, which it is doing fully. The last thing to do is to run the module content report, which will check for any errors or any other content issues in the Modano workbook that we created. As we can see, we only had to delete unused rows in the revenue module. Otherwise, our customized revenue module is complete.